of you. Hope you're having a wonderful summer. Jeanette, I assume there are no public comments. You did not receive any. Okay. Additions to the agenda. I believe there are none. Okay. Minutes of the June 6th meeting. Everyone was present, so all of you who are here tonight can vote. So
I have one change.
mhm.
In the minutes under Christie's report, under grants, it says bullet point, the town did not receive the ARPA grant it applied for in January through the Area Agency of on Aging of South Central Connecticut. I would prefer that to say the Human Services or the Senior Center, probably the Senior Center did not receive, because it's confusing with the money that the town did get for ARPA. And I want to be specific that it was not the town per se, but the Senior Center. So we'll make that change if that's okay with everyone else. The Senior Center there. And then you can make your motion. I'm admitting Janet, so if you want to wait one more minute, you can have one more person.
Okay.
I guess we'll say the Woodridge Center there.
Okay. And I also have just one more correction too, and that is that Janet was actually at the volunteer appreciation event too. There were 4 commission members present. Okay.
Okay, got it. Hi, Janet.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Janet.
Okay.
There.
Hope you're having a nice summer. We are, we've moved through the agenda up to accepting the minutes.
I'm sorry I'm late.
No, we're happy to have you. Have you had a chance to look at them, and do you have any corrections?
Nothing for me.
No,
Okay, then I'll need a motion to accept.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
And a
second.
second. Okay, Pat, all right. You got that, Jeanette and Nancy? Since we don't have Viviana tonight, okay.
Yes.
Fine. Roll call vote. All those accepting the minutes, Janet,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Arnie,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself, yes, okay, unanimous. The next on the agenda is a liaison report. Update, actually. You will notice we do not have any liaisons here. And I'm just going to quickly read you that there is a new, Beth wrote a memo to all of us. Dear board and commission members, at last week's Board of Selectmen meeting, I announced that board meetings will be conducted differently going forward so that we will have more time to discuss items of importance. We are doing this in 2 ways. The BOS will vote on certain routine items under a consent agenda, and BOS liaisons will no longer be asked to report to the BOS. That means your board's or commission's BOS liaison is no longer expected to attend your meetings. Boards and commission chairs will be asked to report in writing to the BOS on a quarterly basis, and those reports will be included in the BOS packet. If an issue arises that you feel the BOS needs to be aware of or needs to be addressed by the Board of Selectmen, you may contact your liaison to discuss the issue or contact her directly. Okay, which is why we do not have our liaison. And on behalf of all of you, I took the liberty of writing a thank you note to both David Lober and to Dwight Rowland for their many years of service, for the many, many meetings they attended, and told them in my note that we have always felt their support for our mission, and also their support for the much needed, long awaited renovation to the senior center. and that without their support, made us make the dream come true. So again, in case, that's it. That's my report about the liaison update. Any questions about that?
Susan, I just want to thank you for writing that note. I think it was important. I personally will miss their presence at our meetings, not only for sharing of information, well, for sharing information, for the ability to informally share information and to develop that direct relationship with those two boards. I feel like there's something that might be missing.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. And I think since communication is so important in this world, and I have to believe also that perhaps they would not have been as supportive if they were not totally aware of all that the commission does and the multiplicity of services. And just reading the reports for tonight's meeting, you have to feel such pride in human services and all that has been accomplished as it grows and, just enhances the mission. So I couldn't agree more, Arnie. And maybe if we all feel that way, we could give some feedback and maybe it might change again. Okay.
Susan, I would also add, I agree with Arnie 100% that we miss that communication and we miss that informal relationship, but we're also missing an advocate in the room when they meet. When there are questions about what the work we do, these are our people in the room. These are the people who can say, yes, of course they need that, or yes, of course they're doing that, or we don't need another department to do that. Human Services is already doing it. And you're right, Susan, it's all about communication. So I do agree. I also think it's an added responsibility to the chairman. I'm happy to help with that quarterly report, but the chairman is now being tasked to write this report. And if it's at all thorough, it's going to take a lot of time. And you're a volunteer. So I think feedback is a good idea. Maybe we wait 1 or 2 months, but definitely in time for the process of the budget season, we can report back that we feel like we're missing something here.
Can I ask a naive question? We're all volunteers. The people who, and I recognize that I'm new to this particular commission, but I've been on different ones. The other ones that I was on, we didn't have a Board of Selectmen join the meeting, but and I do love that, and I will miss it. But and this is the naive question that I'm finally getting to are those people? I thought those people were volunteers. They're not.
They are.
They are. They're
Right.
volunteers too.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So we're all volunteers, and it's just that we need more. In my opinion, they should also use my out of office trick because we need more manpower. Like, I feel like if we had more, anyway, all right. I'll thank you. Thank you.
No, but good point. That's probably one of the reasons that they ended that program was, some of the selectmen had 2 and 3 boards that they had to go to in addition to their own board. And I'm sure it got to be a lot of nights out. So agreed.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
No, Jeanette, you go ahead.
No, it's, but we will miss it and we will miss that advocate in the room. So.
And I also know that not always. I mean, we were very lucky that we had people who really took it serious, took their job seriously. So we, so let's be thinking about giving feedback as we move forward. Okay, thank you all. Next item on the agenda is youth services. Nancy, would you please give us your report?
Hi, everyone. Let's see, I'll start with, you all, as you all know, and some of you were there, that we had the volunteer recognition ceremony, and Ava Shanbrum was the winner of the First Selectmen's Youth Award. So she received a plaque and a citation from Woodridge and a Connecticut citation, and People's Bank donated the $200, which she gladly accepted. So I did get a lovely email from her family just, thanking us for getting her involved in this, and we're just really proud of all the students who were nominated. They're great kids. The after-school guided study program started a little bit late this year, but it was completed. There were some modifications again this year due to COVID. They had 232 private tutoring sessions provided by 9 different tutors. So I think they really did try to make the best of the enhancement grant monies that supports that program. And we'll be looking to do it again next year.
Nancy?
Yes,
Nancy and Pat, how many different tutors were involved?
there were 9.
9. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, that could vary year to year, depending on whether it's in person. I think they needed more this year probably because they did some virtual and some in person. It was just easier for some families, and parents had to agree, to do it virtually. So shorter sessions this year, and I'm sure it needed more tutors.
Yeah.
Chooses up the money faster.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Job bank. Well, we still need weeders. So if you know any young people who like to weed, send them my way, please. We always need kids who want to weed, especially in the summertime. We've had lots of jobs, and I thank Ellen for jumping in and helping with phone calls, taking messages, whatever. I have been interviewing kids, and in fact, we had some kids in this week to do community service, and talked to them about job bank and sent them home with some applications. So we're still trying, but it's been busy, and I think that the residents here really, really appreciate it. And I have to say, it was Christy's idea initially to do Tech Tuesdays for the seniors, and I think the volunteers there are doing really well, and it's really much appreciated. And these kids are earning their community service hours, which has been hard to do with COVID over the last few years. So as we get more donations to the food pantry, we'll definitely get some more kids into for food pantry. We did a yearbook signing. So the PTSO kind of runs the yearbook signing at the middle school every year for the 8th graders, and we do provide ice cream for those kids. And it was a horribly hot day, and it's out in the courtyard up there. So the kids were most appreciative that we provided the ice cream for that. And PTSO also helped, and I helped serve. And also on that day, actually, they received a No Place for Hate award on the same day. So I was there at that ceremony, finally met the people that I had worked with, talked to, and emailed over the last few years. And so it was really nice to meet people face to face. So I went from the ceremony over to the yearbook signing. It was a full day. It was fun. We did a kickball tournament the last day of school, so the teachers get involved and they get the kids out playing kickball, or they walk around the field, and then we do set up a table and provide water and popsicles for the kids, and they are very appreciative of that too. And Ellen did go and help me with that as well, kind of shorthanded. Community service, as I said, we had some kids in, sorting food, helping seniors, and we're still trying to provide community service for kids as well. I saw that the Lions Club in Bethany is doing a harvest fair. Sometimes they call and ask us if we can provide some volunteers. So we're always looking to help kids get their community service hours. And hopefully we'll get some more food in the food pantry. I just posted on Facebook that we needed more food, and try to get some more kids in here, finish that up. What else? Let's see. Harlem Wizards. Oh my goodness. We helped to sponsor a program at the rec department camp about a week and a half ago. And so one of the Harlem Wizards come. He's about, 6'8". I look like a shrimp standing beside him. But he did such a great program for the kids. The sound was amazing. My ears were just like vibrating because the kids were screeching and they were just so excited. So it was really a fun program, so much fun. He gave out posters, he gave out backpacks, basketballs. He waited at the very end and he said, everybody that got posters, come. And he got them all up in a line, and he got a marker out, and he signed every poster. Any kid that got a ball, he signed those. The kids were taking pictures with them. The looks on their faces, it was amazing. They were just adorable. And they even had a relay race where he set up his like a pair of shorts on each side, and then sized 18 sneakers, which is what he wears. And the kids had to go along and try to put the shorts on and hold them up while they ran to get the sneakers and put them on, and then tried to dunk a basketball. It was really hysterical. The kids they loved it, especially when the counselors had to do it. So great day, really fun. It's well worth it. They're really, really great entertainment. And he also, as he signed everything, he'd tell the kids, stay in school. Just give them a little plug. So it was cute. It was really great program. Plans, we have Red Cross babysitter training coming up next week. I have 3 kids enrolled. I'm hoping some more kids get back from vacation and parents look at Facebook and read their letters. We did have it sent out to all the 7th grade parents at the middle school. It went out on PTSO Facebooks and on our Facebook as well, and it's on our website. So I'm hoping to get a few more kids for next week. And that will be on the 10th and the 11th from 9 to 12:45 in the Woodridge Library meeting room. And fee is $60 for residents and $65 for non-residents. So I'm hoping we get some more kids because it is a really good program. And most of the kids who want to babysit who come to Job Bank, it's well worth having that, certificate saying that they've done it. I still have people who call me who took that course years ago as kids and say, I want a Red Cross trained babysitter. So it's really, really cool to hear. That just reminds me how old I am. We've been doing this for so long. And the last thing, and we have a 7th grade picnic, which is coming up August 24th. And Susan's already volunteered to help. Thank you, Susan. And anyone else that wants to jump in, talk about volunteer time, we'll take it. But it's going to be at the middle school on the back field on August 24th. That's a Wednesday night from 5:30 to 7:30. And 7th grade parents will be picking up the kids' notebooks or laptops, whatever they're giving out. Kids have to go into the building, sign on, but then parents can stay for training. And then we should get the kids outside for the picnic. So it should be fun. But most of the 7th grade parents have a hard time volunteering because they're inside doing training, unless they had a 7th grader go through last year. So I'm going to try to reach out to more high school kids this year, and we are a little short-staffed. But Jeanette always jumps in to help. Ellen jumps in to help. Somehow we manage, and I'm so grateful for them. It's unbelievable. And let's see, DCF grant reporting and budget. Actually, they were originally due today. But our finance director, Tony, is on vacation this week, and he has a figure that he normally gives me, but the year hasn't been closed out yet. So it's kind of tight doing it on August 1st. So I have an extension until next week when Tony comes back. I'll get that from him and submit our budget for the next year as well. We will get an additional like $7,200 in a supplemental grant, along with our youth services grant and the enhancement grant. So we will use that for, training, trying to get a juvenile review board going and, some more direct services for students. So that will definitely be helpful. Any questions?
I have one question, Nancy. The
Yeah.
Juvenile Review Board, that's been around a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more momentum this time?
Yes, because we have Orange Youth Services on board. All the police departments seem to be on board, although, a month or so ago I had talked to the trooper in Bethany. It didn't sound that he said we don't need one in Bethany. I have since talked to Paula Cofrancesco, and now I'm hearing they need one in Bethany. So it's going to be a regional board. Orange already has theirs going, so we'll work with that. But we're hoping we can pull somebody from the state level who works with juvenile justice who can maybe come in and meet with all of us to bring that youth service idea to it. That it's
Good.
not
No, I'm
just.
glad to hear this, that we go forward this time.
Yeah, thank you. I know I've been asking about it, and it's just kind of gone around about. But I'm glad that, and the school district wants to be involved too. The Amity School District.
Good.
We just have to make sure that it's not just a school district thing because we have other kids in Woodridge.
Mhm.
So there's more to think about.
Could you explain what it is?
Pardon? Oh yes, I'm sorry. Juvenile Review Board. We'll probably end up calling it a diversion group. I don't know. There's different trains of thought, and it might be the police. What it used to be called is a juvenile review board. Youth Services is trying to get us to call it a diversion group, and it's really about restorative justice. So if a youngster gets involved in something and they get arrested, it's their first offense. They can send it to a juvenile review board to keep the kid out of the system, and the courts love this idea because they can go to the courts and get a slap on the wrist. they'll come to a juvenile review board or a diversion group, and they'll probably get community service, which is more than what they might get in the courts, but it does keep them out, at least for the first offense. So we would work with them. Some kids can get referred for mental health services. We can give them community service, or just, work with the parents and see if there are other needs for the family that we can help with.
Oh,
I think it's worthwhile, I
Now,
think
there's excellent research, Pat, about the effectiveness, especially for the first offense.
Mhm.
well, I would agree. First,
I have a friend who served on the board in New
Mhm.
Haven, and she thought it was wonderful. I mean,
Mhm.
it was a very needed and very positive. Her experiences were very positive.
And talking to Jen Byers, there's a concern over the fact that the courts don't want to handle truancy cases. And it's a very difficult issue, why kids are truant. And it used to be that we were told kids were anxious and they didn't want to go to school because they were so anxious. Sometimes there's bullying involved. Now I'm hearing it's more defiance, that they just don't want to get out of bed in the morning. But there's got to be some causes behind that. So, and it's hard to start being a tough parent when someone's in high school too. So, there might be some parenting things that we could do, and refer them to, or maybe create, something, working with a counselor or something, so that we could help these kids, because we definitely need to fight truancy and catch it early on. But Jen Byers said maybe we do this in phases, where we start with the arrests and then we work into truancy once we get a little more research going. So I think it's a good plan. So we will meet. I'm going to try to get someone from the state to see if they can come down and meet with us, maybe do a little training, or just have a discussion, with everyone who's going to be involved. Jeanette will be at the meeting as well.
Okay, if there are no other questions, Nancy, that's a great report, and I need a motion to accept it.
I so move.
Okay, and a second.
I'll second.
Jen, okay. And Kathy was the first, okay. Roll call vote. Janet,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Arnie,
Yes.
Pat,
yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself. Okay, motion carries. Unanimous, isn't it perfect? Okay, Christy, can you give us the Woodridge Center report, please?
Sure. We filed the quarterly report for the 5310 grant for Van 167 in early July, and data for the 4 other reports was submitted throughout the months of June and July. In June, we had the Father's Day drive-through. It went very well. We served 100 participants. And as part of the drive-through, Hampden Health provided a deconstructed root beer float, which people were very excited about. They said that it brought them back from their youth, and we heard stories about that. And also that they couldn't remember the last time that they had one. So that was fun. The annual picnic drive-through lunch was last week, and that was sponsored by the Woodridge Police Department and Elam Park. Kelsey from Elam Park was able to come and help distribute the meals. Unfortunately, the Woodridge PD was not able to attend. As part of that drive-through, we collected donations for the Alzheimer's Association, and we were able to collect over $225 for that. On September 7th, there's going to be a local town walk that we do every year to try to raise more money for the Alzheimer's Association. The joint replacement presentation was canceled, unfortunately, due to a low registration. The Armchair Adventure series has been going really well, with a really good attendance for that. The last one in the regular series will be in August, and it's actually been extended through September with Acadia Park in September. And on July 14th, Hampden Rehabilitation and Healthcare provided a workshop where participants painted a terracotta pot, and then they planted herbs. And it was just a really lovely workshop. There was a lot of conversing and a lot of socializing the whole hour, and people were just creative with their pots, and it was a very upbeat program. It was a lot of fun for everyone. Taiji Kwan's going really well, and we're at our max attendance that's allowed through the grant, and the retention of that it will reflect really well when we apply for other grants in the future. The lifestyle change program, we've had a few people stop attending, but we've had a couple more that have joined. Some of the feedback that we've received is that it's repetitive and there's not a lot of new information. So I pass that on to Monitor My Health, and they're working to address this issue. And then upcoming programs and events. On August 25th, we will have a luncheon in the Grove that Whitney Rehab is putting together. They are providing music by Alex Lentini, and sandwiches and chips will be sponsored by Maplewood at Orange, dessert by Trinity Home Care, and beverages by Senior Planning Services. These businesses I currently don't have a relationship with, so it'll be nice to establish connections with them for the future. For other program-related information, New Haven County's community level stayed at the medium zone for all of June and most of July. Unfortunately, last Thursday, it was elevated to the high levels, so all the senior center programming will require masks to be worn until it comes back down to the medium level or lower. The center recently purchased a new laptop, which will help expand our virtual and hybrid programming for the future. And then the meal program, unfortunately, the last couple of weeks, we've been unable to access the elevators due to some pre-construction work that had to be done before the construction company can begin the renovation. So this means all of the meals that are delivered have to be brought down the stairs, and the meals that go out have to be carried up the stairs. Jessica, Rose, and our volunteer Janet have been doing a really great job schlepping the meals up and down so that we can continue to offer this service during this time. And the transportation program, Car 57, has over 175,000 miles on it. It failed the first emissions test and required over $500 in repair in order to pass that test. And in addition, it also required an approximate $1,000 air conditioning compressor to be replaced. And I also just wanted to mention that the request for a new transportation vehicle for the FY23 capital budget wasn't approved. So we're looking in other grants and other ways to try to fund that vehicle, and also kind of think out of the box for ways that we may be able to get a new vehicle. And then the pilot social visit program with the transportation program has been going really well. We've transported one client 4 times between June and July. It's just been locally to his friend's house. We have another client who's potentially interested in using the service. I have been advertising in the Woodridge Town News, the newsletter, and through email blasts so that people are aware that we're offering this service. And the client that we're transporting has macular degeneration and is legally blind. And also his wife passed away about a year ago. So he's very appreciative every time we transport him, and he really looks forward to these visits. And it's just really nice that he's able to maintain that friendship in person. And as FY22 came to a close at the end of June, I thought it may be helpful to share some highlights from the year, especially in a broader context. I'm going to give you the report every month, but I thought it may be helpful in the broader context. So new clients continue to sign up for the various programs at the center. We now have over 40 active pickleball players and 24 active aerobics members. 65 Woodridge households have used the meal delivery program in FY22. And I provided a little table in your packet that summarizes all of the meals that were provided over the last few years. In FY '22, there were 2,899 meals that were delivered to people in or households in Woodridge. And that was just the frozen meals alone. The craft workshops, National Park Series, Tai Chi Kwan, and the drive-throughs are maintaining a really good attendance. And sponsors continue to generously support our programs with over $25,000 in donations, sponsorships, and grants in FY '22. This doesn't include the Living Treasure fundraiser. This is just donation sponsorships and grants that support the programs. For FY '23, the center plans to continue building connections to those over 55 and those who have disabilities, especially after the renovations are complete and we have our new center downstairs. We also strive to provide connections to resources and programs for those who have disabilities and their families. And the center is also planning to offer more intergenerational programs and then have all of this information on the programs and resources available on the town website. Are there any questions?
I had one question, Christy. I think it
Sure.
was on your table.
Mhm.
There was a figure a little over $12,000 Jewish senior services, and I just didn't understand what
Oh,
that
okay,
meant.
on the stats. So even though we try to encourage them to send us an invoice more often, it takes a while, unfortunately, to receive it. So that's over the last 6 months. We try to get it at least quarterly, but they seem to get behind sometimes. So that's why there's that big number there.
Yeah, no, it stuck out for me and I didn't
Sure,
understand
it's
it.
a lot
Thank
of
you.
money.
Yeah, okay.
I just want to say that I found the stats wonderful. And that section was really, I mean, everything quite impressive, but I think putting it all together, and again, I'm thinking of marketing things and having a larger footprint in Woodridge and everything. And when you've got numbers like that we can share in little articles and everything, and grants and everything, I think it's very helpful. So thank you, Christy. Are there any other questions for Christy? Okay, if none, then I need a motion to accept a report.
So moved.
Thank you, Pat. And a second,
I'll second it.
Janet. Okay. Roll call vote. Janet,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Arnie,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself. Yes. Okay, unanimous. Jeanette, will you please give us the Human Services report?
I will. Give me 1 second. I'm writing something down.
Okay. Oh, that's right. That's taking minutes to talk about. Oh my gosh, guys, Viviana isn't here today.
Okay.
Nancy, you're assisting, right? Both of you? Yeah.
Nancy's doing her job. We all three have a template. So we're all taking,
Okay.
so we can match them up tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. So just quick budget update. The town is moving into a digital budget, and it will be a digital book. You know, there'll be a learning curve. We're hoping that they give us some training before we need to be entering some data. It's basically the same thing. It's basically the same formats, only we can have our own pages where we can add photos, we can add charts. Christy's really good with those kinds of things. So we're gonna expand on that and allow for some comparisons. You know, normally in our letter of transmittal, we highlight how much we've gotten in donations. Youth Services gets donations. Woodridge Center gets donations, of course, the RAF and the Living Treasure. We take donations, and we don't even count the the donations to the food bank specifically, except for in poundage, how many pounds we get at that one lump sum in November from the Boy Scouts. So, you know, we do take a lot of donations. We're hoping to highlight that a little bit in this budget report. Local masks and test kits, we're on our last box. So if anyone needs some, now's the time to pick up a test kit. Obviously, you can still get them from the U.S. Postal Service. You can go in through the CDC and order some free kits. I know I ordered 8 and 10 came, so they're available. We're on our last few masks, so, and they're going out consistently, and you know, whether it's people are expecting company, or they're going on a trip, or they've tested positive, or they've been exposed. We're hearing a lot recently from folks because clearly the numbers are up and people are doing more. Renovation, today I got a report that the remediation was complete, that the environmental testing was good, passed all the tests. Tomorrow they'll likely be pulling down the tarps down in the lower level for the remediation. Really can't say whether the contracts are signed for the construction to start. They were not signed about 10 days ago, and I thought they would be signed by the beginning of August, but Tony is on a 2-week vacation, so we'll wait until he returns next Monday to find out if they've been sent and if they've been signed and when we can start. Because from the signing, it's 10 days that Olympus Construction had bid to begin construction. So we're really close. I wish I could say, oh, August 10th, we're going to start, but I can't. So we'll have to be patient just a little while longer. But we're excited. The money situation worked out in the end. Christy and Tony and I, along with building maintenance, looked at some suggested changes. Mostly they involve things like we've recommended a light fixture that we now find a less expensive model that does the same thing and looks the same. Will you accept this option? And or there were some options in the HVAC system that could be changed to less expensive options, not giving up our high rating MERV filters, not giving up smart thermostats, but just finding ways to lower the costs. We went for a ceiling tile that, instead of having a slight edge on each panel, lays flat. I will notice, but I don't think anyone else will notice. We stuck tight to things we thought the residents would notice. We stayed having a Corian countertop instead of a laminate countertop, having wainscoting on the walls to protect them from how seniors push chairs into walls or run their walker along the edge, or and tear things up. We stuck to the things that they wanted to square off the soffit in the entranceway, and we had this idea of a curved soffit. And what we looked at was, okay, how much money will it save? We're talking about $1,500, or are we talking about $9,500? If it was $1,500, we found another way to pay for it, because that's just silly to spend, $775,000 and cut a corner on $1,500. So we found ways to get what we wanted still, with the exception of the room divider, which is in the ad alternates. If this job comes in a little less than they expect, if the contingency is large because this is an old building and you expect to open up a wall and find stuff that you have to, fix. So contingency is large. If we get lucky and we go through this process, we don't find too many oh no's, we should be able to do that room divider. And then likewise, that was about $52,000 in savings. And I had asked Tony about a month ago if at June 30th, we could, any unspent money in the entire human services budget, whether it was postage or it was office supplies or even staff, if we could capture that money since it had already been expended and not allow it to return to the town, but to capture it and put it back toward this project. And I assumed he could find 25 and he found 40. So we were able to put $40,000 together with the 52 and come up with the shortfall, which, it was all hands on deck and we all contributed. And I think, hopefully, things are going up and not down in costs. So hopefully Olympus Construction has built into their bid the ability to buy these products and not run short. But I think anyone heading into a construction would have the same fears that we have right now. Is let's get the job done before the costs go any higher. Are there any questions about the construction? Okay.
No, I just want to commend you that you were able to cobble together $95,000
Yes.
to cover the shortfall. That's just amazing.
Tony's amazing. Tony's amazing. There's a range for the percentage on contingency, and he tends to err on the side of being cautious. And you could hear his calculator going off when he and I and Silver Petroselli met. And all of a sudden he came back, well, okay, if we do 4.5% here instead of 5, we've got it. We've got the number. And, it was pretty, I give hats, kudos to Tony Genovese because, and Silver Petroselli also, they, every time we said, well, could we do this? They had to research it, talk to their engineers and come back with whether or not it could be done that way. And Brad had a lot of really good ideas, really excellent. And he knew where to draw the line in the sand because we ultimately want this to be a sustainable building, a good building. We want to lower our energy costs. And in order to do that, we're going to really have to start here at the senior center before the rest of the building gets done with good choices. So I'm going to move on to Living Treasure. Exciting news. We have, I do want to explain that Kathy made nominations, so I sort of included her with the nominating group. She's not actually on the nominating committee of the Living Treasure. She's on the Living Treasure committee. But the nominating committee met and we, you can see in your notes there, Dwight Rowland, Susan Jacobs, and Richard James, along with the 95-year volunteer organization of the Woodridge Volunteer Fire Association, will be honored for their contributions to town. And we're really excited about that. And we did learn on Friday that we will have the firehouse to hold the event in the new firehouse. So that's a really great addition to this event. We're hoping we have this awesome bartender named B. Pat Madden. But I do want to ask, I do want to ask, this is an important event for us. It doesn't sound like a lot, but with the bonding money and the STEEP grant, we were asked to do some matching funds, and we were able to take $10,000 out of the living treasure money that we had raised, and that qualified the town match for those funds, giving us, you know, a leg up on this construction. And one of the cuts we've made to the budget is we basically gutted the FF&E, furniture, fixtures, and what's the E? Equipment, excuse me. And we're going to be using fundraising dollars for a while to buy the things we can't get other grants to support. So we will need to raise some more money. That said, with those people named, we're hoping people will place congratulatory ads. We're hoping that some of you know people who have businesses that they can donate, or you can get a donation of a silent auction item. But really, we're hoping that you might attend, buy a ticket, come, or don't buy a ticket, be a celebrity server, and help us out that evening. But we need all the help we can get with making, you know, many hands make light work. So anyone who would like to come, please call Ellen in the Human Services office. Tickets went on sale this morning, and we actually had some interest already today, and the word's not even out. So that's that. That's my pitch.
Jeanette, I just want to add one thing to the pitch. Last year was my first year involved in Living Treasure. And unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to volunteer at the event. I'm volunteering prior. So I'm making a personal plea to the rest of my fellow commissioners here that I thought that we really could have used a few more people last year. And the committee's going to be down myself and my husband who helped out. And I think that it's just a very proud moment in the town to see this celebration of our own members. And I just urge you to come and either just help set up or help, you know, take it down, or donate something for the raffle. But it's just a very heartwarming event. And I feel badly that I may not be there, but I have a third grandchild coming, so I'm going to be helping my daughter. So I hope you take a moment and think if you can save that date in your calendar and let Jeanette know.
Thanks, Kathy. Good pitch. And thank you to Arnie for placing his ad. I've already gotten that one in. So it all helps. It really does.
It does.
I'm going to move on unless there's any other questions. The Resident Assistance Fund. So with inflation, clearly people's lives are challenged, especially our clients. And what I'm looking for, you know, the Resident Assistance Fund says we'll provide for fuel 150 gallons or $400. Well, 150 gallons at $5 a gallon these days is $750. And so people who are utilizing the fuel assistance can get an award that is, you know, a good amount. But if you are someone who uses natural gas because you rent and that's what's in the apartment, you might not be getting enough for your bill. So I wanted to change the language. The sentence reads, where is it? I have it in my report. The maximum of fuel assistance is 150 gallons of oil or $400 paid directly to the gas or electric company. There's a long-winded explanation of how electric bills have gone up per kilowatt hour. Read it if you want to. You know, I had a lovely education on the topic doing that research. I learned a lot. At first, I looked at it, to be perfectly honest, and I don't pay our electric bill, so I did not know that kilowatt hours were 22 cents a piece, and I first read it to read $22 a piece. So my annual usage came out to be $182,000. knew I had a problem. So I did learn a lot, and there's a learning curve. That's not my area of expertise, but I can see that with inflation, I'd really like to have a little bit of flexibility here and just change that line to instead of $400 to $500, so that Judy and I have the flexibility if someone is struggling to choose between fixing their car, a hospital bill, pharmaceuticals that they need, kids camp. There are a lot of challenges for people that they're juggling, and a month's worth of electric shouldn't be on the list. We do not help them all year long. This is a one-time, one grant per year. So that if someone this came up because we had a client who spent a month in the hospital, and she works from home and was not able to work at all. And when she came out, her rent was due, and we have limits what we can do, and she could not help. And we worked a little bit with the landlord, and we helped her with that bill. And trust me, 11 months out of the year, this woman is working and paying her bills. But when you're that close to the line, one thing happens, and the car breaks down, or you have a small car accident, and there's problems. So I would like, if there are any questions.
Are we at risk for running out of money from that fund, from that pool of money?
So what I learned was about the same amount comes in every year, and we don't spend that much. So it's consistently growing over time. The fund is being moved to an interest-bearing account, a trust, and it is, Tony, before he went on vacation, told me that is very close to happening. To just be full transparency, we have just about $49,000 in the account. And each year we take in as much as we spend. So we're not spending it down. In my time here, it's grown by about $3,000. And we're still providing for the folks, and we're still buying gift cards at the holidays. And, people are just very generous to this fund. The Recreation Commission is donating. We get a lot of our needs covered by individual donors. So it is growing. And that was one of the reasons that Ellen and I were talking about, mostly Ellen, encouraging people to utilize the pantry monthly instead of just using it. And sometimes they get gift cards with that, instead of getting all kinds of help at Christmas time, and then the rest of the year scrambling. And we often say, come and get your staples with us, and then use the dollars you have left to go get your milk and eggs, and so we're trying to, the population we serve just needs to learn how to use us. And so, again, with the help, we have some people who are really good at asking for help, and some people who we have to do a little more outreach with. And most of the time our clients say, oh, no, you don't have to give that to me. Give it to somebody who really needs it. And our hearts break. But yeah, good question, Arnie. We are in good shape.
That's great to know. That's great.
Are there any
Very
other
generous.
questions? We'll need it.
Gonna keep going for one more second.
You don't want a motion? No, okay.
Oh yeah, let's do a motion
Yeah.
for that specific. You're right.
Yeah. I don't want to stop the discussion. Are there any more questions? Any discussion? What is the feeling? Does somebody want to make a motion to change that? We have the sentence here.
I could read it again.
You want to read it again, Jeanette?
Sure. We'd like to increase the assistance utility assistance for Woodridge clients from $400 per year to $500 per year.
So that the sentence would, in there would read, the maximum of fuel assistance is 150 gallons of fuel oil or 500 paid directly to the utilities for natural gas or electric company, right? That's the way the sentence in its entirety would read.
Right. But the motion reads that we'd like to change it from the first way it reads to the second.
I'll make a motion to do so.
Okay, Janet, is there a second?
I can second.
Lauren,
Jen.
thank you.
It's
Okay.
Jen.
Jen.
Oh, Jen, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Okay, Jen. All
So
right.
Janet and then Jen.
And then Jen seconded it. Okay.
Okay.
My apologies. Okay, roll call vote. Janet,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Arnie,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself. Yes. Okay, unanimous.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And then just the Center Building Renovation Committee. We were joined with a new member, and Susan is now on the committee, and she is a welcome addition. This committee is looking at renovating the police department and the Human Services Department part of the building and the entire envelope of the center building. And it's a large task, and we're hoping to put together an RFP for design companies very soon, and then more will follow with information to come. We'll keep you apprised of that. That's it for me. Thanks.
Jeanette,
Yes.
excuse me. Did you want to mention the additional materials that's in the packet?
Sure.
It's
I
basically
don't know if you were able to see, there's a space needs assessment in the packet that I created with the help of the entire staff to look at what our programming might be and our programming space needs might be and our storage might be. It is long. I apologize, but the version that the police had done was professionally done in 2012, and it was a very professional packet done by a design company. So I wanted to be as thorough as possible. I requested that we also have a design company provide that material, but we were not granted that. So we took a shot at it. I hope you'll have a read of it. And if you have any ideas that we left off, I would love to hear it, because it's not set in stone. It's just an idea packet for a future designer to have a base of what our needs are now and what our needs will be in the next 10 years, staffing wise and program wise and population wise, because I did include a bunch of statistics. And then there's also, what else is there? We have the contribution form for the Living Treasure, if anybody's interested in that, and an ad form. Christy, anything else? Okay.
I would just like to quickly say that it's not an overstatement to say that Jeanette has been very busy. This was put together in it's a monumental amount of work. And I know the entire commission, the entire Human Services Department worked on giving you the information, but this is a lot of work, and it was done in a very short period of time. And Jeanette, thank you for
Absolutely
being so efficient. We are going to, I hear a funny noise, guys. Is it mine? We are going to need a motion to accept the Human Services report.
So move.
Okay. Arnie, and a second?
I'll second it.
Pat, oh, Janet, Pat beat you to it, so, okay, Pat. Roll call vote. Janet,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Arnie,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and myself. Yes. Okay, motion carried. Next item of business is the next, old business, new business, we have none.
New business.
I have one thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just pointing out Nancy has a new business.
Well, okay, good.
I just received a call today from our program coordinator, Sarah Pearson, that she will be leaving us very soon. So she'll be here for about a week to a week and a half, and then she'll be gone. And as we gear up to the beginning of the year, it's certainly a disappointment. She was a hard worker, but I wish her the best. And we will be posting the job openings wherever we can. We also still have program assistants open for our evening programs. So our staff, again, is going to plug away until we get the help we need. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, wow. I know how disappointed you must be, but that we do wish her well. Yes. Okay.
Sure.
Any other new business? I apologize for not racing through that, not giving you an opportunity. No, then the next meeting is September 12th because Labor Day is the 5th, so we're meeting the second Monday, okay? And I assume we will still be Zoom, right, Jen? Yes, we're going to be Zooming, okay? Because the
We've
numbers.
all gotten so good at it.
We have. Okay, and I'll need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Kathy, okay. Second,
Second, Jen.
Jen, perfect. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I can see all your hands. Okay, perfect. Oh, it always seems so abrupt, but hope you all are enjoying summer and that you continue to do so.